everybody, this is Angelica. How are you today? Today's video is going to be about spirituality and creativity and how these two are linked, how they are alike, and also how to better access these things, how to better access your creative nature so that you're always in like a creative mood, thinking creatively, not only about like making things or, drawing a piece of, artwork, but always kind of being in the creative flow of life so that when things happen, you can creatively move your way through things and think out of the box. Like maybe not use that particular behavior again. If that particular behavior is not working for you. So creativity applies to almost everything in life. And your creative nature is so very special and so very needed in today's world and society. And so how to really access that place and to stay in that place as long as possible for happiness, for health, for, for everything. So I just wanted to say that, so it's February now, and as February started, I started feeling like a more tense kind of energy. I'm sorry I didn't come out with a video on Monday. I was doing some other projects. I'm working on some other projects, but at the same time, there's been some tension in the energy, and I just wanted to give a quick astrological update in case you know about astrology, and if not, you might want to learn about it. But there was an opposition between Jupiter and Pluto, which are pretty big planets. And then at the same time, on February 1st, Venus was conjunct Pluto, so it was lined up with Pluto, and on the opposite sides of the chart, Jupiter and Pluto were opposing each other. And these are pretty big planets with pretty, pretty intense energy. Well, Pluto has intense energy. Jupiter is more expansive, so it's expansive, intense energy, and it depends on where these planets are in your chart. So you can see where it has affected you on a personal level. Anyway, just so in case you were wondering why, if you have been feeling the energy, if you're sensitive to energy like I am, so sensitive to energy, especially the energy of like humanity as a whole. I'm more sensitive to that energy than the energy of like specific situations. But if I'm in specific situations and I'm just going and not in tune with my spirit and not in tune with my creativity necessarily, that is when I just really start losing my balance. And that is what happened. Excuse me. This weekend, that's what happened, because it seems like there's been never-ending birthday parties. But anyway, that was just a side note if you guys wanted to know. Also, Mercury is going retrograde tomorrow for 3 weeks. It goes retrograde approximately 3 times a year for 3 weeks. Mercury rules Gemini. Mercury rules Virgo. Those two signs, the planet Mercury rules, so those signs may be affected more than most. Venus, which was retrograde all last month, is now going direct again, and it started going direct, I think, January 31st. So you should see some movement now within your relationships. For me, I have Venus in retrograde in my natal chart, so I really do well with Venus retrograde energy. So anyway, that is all just random stuff that I threw in there. Hopefully you've got something from it. So, creativity. Okay, creativity to me is spirituality. It is this energy that's unseen. It's this energy that it's hard to, to put into words like what it actually is, because to me creativity is a total feeling. It's a vibration. It's it's just an energy that kind of moves through the body, and it is moving through the body in order to be expressed outward. Now, there's so many different facets to creativity, but creativity has to do with you and maybe wanting to manifest something out into the world. So you first get the idea and you plant the seed, possibly on the new moon, you know, you plant a seed that you would like to create this particular thing. And through all the cycles of the creative process, you know, having the seed grow into, you know, the plant or the tree, you have to nurture this creative idea until it becomes a whole thing. So this is the creative process. You get an idea, and then it's waiting to be expressed outwards into the world. All the great, you know, artists, inventors, anyone who uses their creativity for their work has access to this unlimited, infinite realm of creative energy. And what that is really, it's spirituality. Okay? Now, people feel creativity coming from different places. I felt it two ways. And so those are the two ways that I can express where I get my creativity from. And I have felt creativity mainly coming from this middle area by the belly button area. And, you know, it would be probably more near the second chakra. It would also be the area that in Eastern tradition or Eastern philosophy they would call the hara. That's where I get a lot of my creative force, my creative energy. I just can feel it, and I can feel it trying to move and like express itself. Now, if I'm busy doing other things and doing more logical tasks, moving through my life kind of on, you know, autopilot, just doing this, this, and this, and not in my space of relaxation, of allowing, of being in the moment, and I'm more, you know, in the process of life of this, that, and, you know, the to-do list and like stressing out, then what happens to this creative energy that's trying to be expressed is it gets stifled and blocked. And it can't move through because you're not listening to your creative, you know, nature, your creative spark that's trying to come out and create something beautiful, and you're like holding it back and you're just not listening to it. And so what happens is it can turn into, you know, it could just get repressed, and that energy can turn into, you know, agitation, irritation, aggravation, anger. Like, it has to be expressed because this energy I feel is very fire-like. It's a fire-like energy, and now it's like in the womb area too. And I'm thinking, wow, that's something that I didn't think of, but that's the creative area of the body. And so that energy really needs to be taken into account and needs to be utilized in the best possible way. Another way that the creative energy can work that I've experienced is it comes through the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is another area where the spiritual energy can enter. Information can also enter through the third eye, but from what I've experienced, now this is only me, so if you have a different opinion, you know, that's fine, and you can express your opinion, but I'm talking about, this is my experience, just in case anybody else has had this experience. The third eye brings in more like data, like information about spiritual realms and stuff like that, but it's more information like downloads. And the crown chakra is more like spiritual energy. It's like this tingling sensation that moves through the whole body and kind of like takes your whole body into this other state of spiritual sensitivity, awareness, all of those things. So I have experienced, and that energy, rather than being more of like a feeling, like a more fire feeling, like the hara energy, the crown chakra energy is more a lighter feeling, and it feels more logical rather than feeling. So if I can put it that way, it seems like a more, and even though it's not logical, like our brain, it's more like a clear logic, which would be what would be the word for that? I don't know, not wisdom necessarily, but just a very clear, like clarity of spiritual knowingness. And so when that energy comes through you, or it has come through me, I'm able to type. And I'm able to type in a way where it's almost like just this energy is moving through me, and I'm just typing all this information, and it's very creative as well. So I'm not sure, like, if it depends on what kind of creative spark you have at the moment, or what your particular creative, you know, skill is. But from what I've noticed, I've had both move through me, and I think that normally I get the fire energy creativity that is wanting to have me like decorating, or like I like using my hands. I like connecting that hara creative energy with my heart energy, and I can link the two and have the energies meet. And then when I link the two of them, I can really, really do wonders, like say for instance with healing people. And so if you are a healer, if you work in the healing field, and you are good with those things, then you will, that is in a sense a creative type of expression. So just for your information, if you connect that creative energy to your heart, and then it turns into a higher love type energy where it's just, you can like feel everything, and the love is actually healing. So anyway, I just really wanted to do a video about the connection between creativity and spirituality. If you're not feeling your creative spark, if you're not you know, directing it towards an activity where you can use it as an outlet, then you have to ask yourself why. And for me, if I'm not using my creative faculties, it's because I'm going on autopilot and I'm doing too many things. I'm not relaxing, because creative energy, just like spiritual energy, just like when you're in meditation, and you start feeling the energies kind of swirl through your body, you can't feel those things if you're out there in the regular society getting hit with all the EMF frequencies and bombarded by, you know, the lights and all the chaos going on, all the thoughts, all the this and that. No, it's not going to work. You got to take yourself out of that situation. Go to nature. Go for a walk. You know, relax yourself, meditate, take a bath. Feel that energy within you and express it in a positive way, so it can be of benefit to you and to everyone else. So I think that's all I want to say today. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and it's so nice to be making a video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.